I would love to spend a few minutes and answer any questions that you guys might have. Yes.
How much time a day do you spend on social media? Do you recommend the sites that syndicate stuff, so like Hootsuite?
Look, Hootsuite and other schedulers are great if you're using them as part of a strategy. I think way too often people look at these as like, I got to schedule out this content, and it's more like checking social media off the to-do list. And as soon as social media becomes like a to-do item, like I got to get this done, check. It's not part of your strategy, and it's not part of your brand growth. So you might as well not do it at all at that point. So we use schedulers, but I'll be honest, like there's things that I hate about them. And I tell my team even, like a good example is with Facebook video. We can schedule Facebook video out. I absolutely hate to do it because if I use a scheduler to do it, it doesn't include captions, at least the one that we're using. And that's the other thing is I feel like different schedulers are great for different platforms. So that's very difficult as well. But I know that 85% of video consumed on Facebook is watched in complete silence. So I want, when somebody's coming across a video, to see words, right? And those schedulers, many of them don't offer that as an option. So therefore, it's not part of it. It's not a great strategy. So I'm telling my team, all right, no more posting video to Facebook through a scheduler. Go into Facebook, upload the video, add the captions, then schedule it out from Facebook. I think very often we're always looking for shortcuts, and when you start using shortcuts, it just doesn't help. Like they're not effective. And what was the other part of your question?
So LinkedIn, like how much time out of your day are you spending on them?
I probably spend more of my time on the weekend, a few hours getting an idea of what content I'm gonna post throughout the week, and I'll actually work them into my calendar. So I'll have like these 30-minute blocks that say LinkedIn, like Collin, LinkedIn, and then I'll actually take the copy and put, and the copy I mean the text, and I'll put that text in the, into my Google Calendar. That way I just have to when I reach that block, I'll actually copy that text and make the post and then upload the image. So that's what I do. I just schedule it into my workday, like anything else. But I would say on average, it's not as much as you would think. Probably an hour a day. So it's more of pre-planning and then of course having great content. That's the part that I think my team and I do very well at is, I film this talk, we'll put this talk out, that'll go out on YouTube, then we'll take 2-minute, we'll take a question exactly like that, and then we'll break that 3 minutes out. That'll be a separate piece of content, and so the ability to put content in many places is great because we're actually making an effort to create great content. Yes?
So LinkedIn. I know each other very well. You guys know that. LinkedIn. So I'm not doing anything there. So can you link your content from Insta or Facebook to your LinkedIn, or is there any shortcuts that you can tell us about there?
I mean, again, when social media becomes part of the I gotta get this done, look, the audiences are different. Sure, there's sometimes you're gonna see me, I posted a picture today, I posted it on Facebook, I posted it on Instagram, I posted it on LinkedIn because it is relevant to all of the audiences. But you really have to keep the audience in mind when you're doing that, right? LinkedIn is business. I mean, it is a business community. And it's great because you have the ability to put your content and to put your message in front of these executive eyeballs and other business professionals. The thing that I would encourage you guys to do, and this is what I see a lot of realtors do, is that they just post their MLS home listings. Got this house for sale, house for sale, house for sale, house for sale. All right, let's talk about how we can bring value. How can you bring value? What are things, maybe it's related to a specific school zone or I don't know, you guys know what people are asking. Pay attention to what people are asking and answer those questions, whether it's in the way that you like to do it. Maybe it's in a blog, maybe it's in video. Maybe, how do you like to create content and pay attention to the questions you're being asked. Good question, very good question. Mitch, sorry, he's like, been back there like.
So next year marks 100 years that the woman has been able to vote in America. We've seen the cultural shift over the last 100 years from quality to inequality, environmental concerns. You've taken your company, New Scooters for Less, and completely revolutionized. You changed the parking patterns at the University of Florida. I think there's 6,500 registered scooters on campus alone now. This is like the mecca of the scooter world. Because of you, right? Because of your efforts. So we've seen these cultural shifts, right? And they're continuing via the social media platforms and so forth we're talking about. So talk a little bit about where you see the future. Where's the now the Gen Zs are starting to emerge. Where do you see their buying patterns? These are realtors. Where are their renting patterns? Where are their living patterns? What are the qualities of life that they're going to be looking for? What kind of companies are they looking to be employed by? So, you were at the very beginning have a vision of how to change habit and change the culture of Gainesville, quite candidly. So, where do you see that moving forward?
Everything is going to be super on demand, like more so than it is already. Like everybody here is ordering stuff on Amazon Prime, right? It's just more convenient. It's more convenient than going to the store, even though like we'd get it today if we just went to the store, but we'd rather wait till tomorrow and just have Amazon deliver it to us. And so like having things, that's what I mean by that, is having things brought to us, like this on-demand economy of like, I can just order it and get it today. There's gonna be a lot of update, work, for example, even with our podcast, we have an Alexa skill. I have these devices throughout my entire house. I can say, Alexa, drop in on the boys' room. Drops in on the boys, shut up and go to sleep. Right, the technology and the ability to say, Alexa, I need more toilet paper. And to be able to do that from our toilet and and have toilet paper brought to us is that is the future. And it's funny because I even joked, I was speaking at Sunrise Rotary, and I talked about, I was like, I know that I'm going to be able to be coming home from the gym, driving in my car, and say, Alexa, start the shower, right, from my car, and that the shower is going to go ahead, turn on, it's going to warm up, heat up. I'm going to be able to walk in and walk right into my hot shower and not have to wait the 3 minutes that I have to wait now for it to warm up. And then, 3 months later on my iPhone, I see an ad from a company that makes showers where it's like, hey Siri, start the shower. They have this already. We value our time so much, and that's why scooters were a big win, because students value their time. They don't want to wait 15 minutes for the bus. They want to wake up, walk downstairs, get on their scooter, get to class. And so but that's everybody. I mean, not just Gen Z, everybody values their time so much that these types of things are going to help. And I think these voice devices like Alexa and Google Home are only going to further that, speed that up. It's going to be more on demand than ever. And you see companies like Amazon trying to figure out how to get things to you same day, right? And that's going to be reality very, very soon.
How long did it take you to build a meaningful audience in any one of the platforms, and how long does it take you to maintain that audience? Is that hour, or is that the entire business?
It's crazy because if you really think, especially from a business standpoint, my business audience changes every 4 years. I build relationships with students just to watch them leave. And that's a hard thing. I mean, it's been tough to build that. But it's a mix of both. The one-to-one is super important. I don't want anybody to think that social media is an escape from the coffee meetups, right? There's nothing better than building a real human connection with somebody. But what I've learned is that social media and creating content, this is a way to amplify that and to amplify the relationship and to really I mean, the best way to put it is to expose your values as a businessman or woman. You know, it's funny, one of the biggest questions that I get asked is, you know, how do you measure the ROI on your vlog? You know, when you were creating this vlog, and in fact, like we created the vlog as NS for LTV, it was for, you know, I wanted it to be about my new Scooters for Less team. And when I say vlog, you guys, like back in 2017, let me bring a little context. Back in 2017, I made the decision to record everything that we were doing as a business and everything that I was doing as a business leader in order to take my brand from being the best scooter dealership in Gainesville to being the best scooter dealership in the country. And I knew that the only way to do that was going to be by showing what we do regularly on social media. But it's funny, you know, I meet people who are like, how do you measure the ROI? Like, I don't. Like, it's the truth. Like, I don't. Like, I don't care. I do it because I love it. But I do know that it works. How do I know it works? Because mom, down in Miami, says, she comes up in the fall with her student and says, hey, we're here to buy a scooter from you today because we were looking up, you know, scooters and transportation in Gainesville back in February when he got accepted to the University of Florida. And we came across your videos and we watched your videos and we realized that you were the kind of business person that we wanted to buy from. So that's why I'm here today. And so I know it's sold scooters, but I don't know how many, you know, and from an audience, like we have, in today's world, we're so focused, and you'll see it all the time. We're so focused, you know, it drives me crazy actually, because I meet with people and they go, all right, so how are you gonna get me to 10,000 followers? What? Why do you want 10,000 followers? All right, I have 1,700 followers on my Instagram and they're highly engaged. Like, and when I'm not even talking about liking my stuff or commenting on I'm talking about messaging me, like direct messaging me. These are people that I'm building relationships with. And that's what I care about, is actually something meaningful, not having 10,000 followers where maybe 1%, you know, a tiny percentage of them actually care about anything that I'm posting, you know? So it's all perspective, you know? The audience that matters is the audience that you really want to build relationships with. And these are people, you know, we all know, especially in what you guys do, the best marketing, period, like in any kind of business, is word of mouth marketing, right? It's that friend referral. And content creation, social media posts, everything that we do, when it comes to that, does nothing but amplify that. Like when we sit down with clients, our goal is to amplify more word of mouth. Any other questions? Cool. Hey, thank you for having me. Appreciate it, man.
Collin, thank you for being here with us today.
Bye.